Now, a rally in support of the banned group Palestine Action will go ahead in central London today. That's despite police and politicians, including the Prime Minister, calling for it to be stopped after the attack. Our correspondent Molly Malone joins me now from the newsroom. Morning to you, Molly. What is being planned?
We know a number of protests are being planned, one in Manchester and one in London, and that one in London, in the capital, in Trafalgar Square, we expect somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 people to attend it. Now, the group that are organising it, a group called Defend Our Juries, they've largely been protesting against the banning of Palestine Action that happened earlier in the summer as the government prescribed them as a terrorist organisation, essentially meaning that it's a criminal offence to turn out in support for that group. They've so far rejected calls to cancel, postpone, delay today's protest from a number of different fronts, really, including the Met Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley. He's got concerns about community tensions, but also more logistical policing concerns. I think we can hear a clip of what he had to say.
My concern as a police officer is twofold. The risk that the timing of that event sends a message which, whether inadvertent or deliberately, endorses anti-Semitism. I think that's a deep risk to community tension, which is my concern. And secondly, we're going to have more than 1,500 officers dealing with the scale of an event where potentially north of 1,000 people want to get arrested for supporting a terrorist organisation, which I find bewildering and frustrating. And so our ability to stretch our resources across London and protect the communities that need it most is to some degree compromised by that.
Now, politicians have been saying similar things. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, has said that he wants Jewish people's grief to be respected and the moment of mourning to be respected after that attack at that Manchester synagogue earlier in the week. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, saying similar, asking people really to think again, and in fact and to separate protests that took place on the night after the attack at that synagogue in Manchester. She said that they were fundamentally un-British, and she was disappointed that they went ahead on the night of the attack. Defend Our Juries, though, saying it's their view that it's fundamental to democracy that these types of protests can go ahead. We heard a clip from a woman called Zoe Cohen. This is what she had to say.
It's a silent vigil. There's no chanting, there's no marching, there's absolutely no hate. And people sit there in silence, holding a homemade sign with a few words on it. And there is nothing anti-Semitic about it whatsoever. And in fact, there's a significant number of the people who have taken part in the Defend Our Juries actions are in fact Jewish or of Jewish heritage, including people whose families are Holocaust survivors.
So clearly there is a difficult balancing act for authorities, for policing, but also for government ministers who really need to be seen to be allowing some form of peaceful protest to take place. Their message, though, that is the time really right to those protesters, they want to think again, as many people in Jewish communities up and down the country will be grieving this weekend.